Welcome everyone. This is IDRL Stay at Home Championships Season 1 Episode 7. This is going to be a blockbuster of a night, and our four teams are going to be all prepared for this episode number 7. Today we have an outstanding night racing track, and courtesy of our friends at D1 Racing from Singapore, we have got this fantastic track lined up for you today. So it's going to be a very amazing 45 minutes of racing that awaits you tonight for our Saturday Night Live from our stay at home championships that's beginning in just a few minutes. So before I uh, take you through the semi-final leaderboard, let's just see at the qualifier timings that the pilots had set and their teams. Blitzkrieg came in first with their qualifiers at 242 seconds overall. Then came in team consistency at 253. Then came in D team at 261, and finally Mac 1. Sorry, Mac 1 came in third. Okay, well, yeah, sorry. So D team came in third, 261, 957, and finally Mac 1 at 262. So that was the lineup at the qualifiers. And now let's go through the semi-final Group 1 stage that's going to begin our championship for this episode. It's going to be in Group 1. First, it's going to be Devnath from Blitzkrieg versus Dishant from D team in heat number 1. In heat number 2, it's going to be Rex versus NJ, Blitzkrieg and D team. In heat 3, it's going to be Napster and 25 milliwatts. And all these 6 pilots, as we have regularly flown, these pilots are going to fly together simultaneously. And let's switch to our track view now. What's happening out there? And within a few minutes, we'll take you there. But let's also see group number 2. What's the lineup? This is Law, Logic, Bangos, Nishant, Light Wings, FPV Monster. These are Consistency versus Mac 1. And the top 2 teams from semifinals, group number 1 and 2, will be going into the finals. So we'll take you there. And we have 3 rounds each in the semifinals. We're going to follow the same format. There's going to be one final round where it's going to be combined racing, where all the 3 pilots, whoever wins from whichever team, that team gets the points. So that's sort of the rules over here. And let's now see what's happening at our pit area over here. We have tuned into right now NJ. This is the first person view from NJ, and we are still warming up with all the pilots. So let's go through all the pilots who are practicing right now. Look at that fantastic track. These are the roller coasters that are coming up for you, and they're going to be really lit up tonight with everybody flying, the trails showing up. It's just one heck of a track. Also, let's see the side view of this track from a different angle so that you guys get a view of what would be happening overall. That's how the track looks like right now from Rex's point of view. They are all practicing the elements that they find the hardest at this point in time, especially those blue circles that are very closely knit together, pose a little bit of a trouble. So that's what the pilots are practicing right now. And the other structures which are free flowing, like the millipede, the centipede, which is going to be in red. Then there's going to be a roller coaster. Then there's going to be another trench. Let's see this from different camera angles so that you can get a wide view of this track. Look at that. We have this fantastic and gorgeous track. And again, thank you very much to D1 Racing from Singapore for giving us this track to race tonight. We will be taking you through some of the best action coming up. So let's go with the first heat over here. Let's get ready, guys, for the first heat. Okay, so that was just a trial. We will abort that race and we will restart the race, restart the first heat. So this is going to be official here. Okay. Whenever pilots are going to be ready, they're going to. Is this official? Have we started as yet? Okay, cool. So this is the first heat that has already started. Look at that. Devnath has already taken the lead. And following him is Napster and Dishang. Devnath right now in the trench through those purple triangles. And then let's see this from the point of view of 25 milliwatts, who is right now having a little bit of an issue with those uh, circles. But NJ, who is in the second spot at gate number 2, he is chasing Devnath very, very closely. And he looks like he has practiced this track really nicely because he's not too far away from Devnath. And Dishank is also closing in from behind for NJ. 25 milliwatts and Dishank. That's also a close race for spot number 3, but they are all in the same team. So NJ, Dishank, 25 milliwatts, all in the same team. And then the other team, that's Devnath, Napster, and Rex. So it's either the blue team or the red team that's going to take the win over here. That's our centipede, what we call the red one. And then we're going through this green kind of free flow, looking at it from NJ's point of view. A fantastic run over here, very, very stable at this point in time. And Devnath has already completed his 3 laps, waiting for NJ to get through his 3 laps. So NJ has completed the competition of this first round. In second spot, Dishank is at spot number 3. Then we have Rex, who will be coming in and completing his part as well. And finally, 25 milliwatts will be done soon. But let's see, it's still about 15 gates away for 25 milliwatts. So it's a little bit of a tough track for the first few rounds. It's going to be a little complicated for the pilots as they try to navigate the track. But as they slowly master this track, it's going to be smoother to watch these pilots flow through. And that's the score right now. Devnath completed at 122, NJ at 146, Dishank 152, Rex 201, 25 milliwatts 222, and Napster at 231. So that was fantastic, guys. Let's go with the second one, the second heat. And right now, let's take a view from the side view, how these pilots are going through that centipede ride. And then we are going through those green structures, through those green gates, into the sharp turns of the blue rings, and then into the trench. That's a beautiful track. That's Devnath. He's far ahead of the competition at this moment in time. And let's see where the other pilots are. Close in competition are NJ and 25 milliwatts. Look at that. All 3 pilots from the same team trying to make their mark. All 3 pilots with the green trails. Dishank has moved up in his competition. He is looking really good for this awesome track, and he is at spot number 2 right now. 25 milliwatts is not too far. He's just about a gate away. So a slight leeway by Dishank is going to give 25 milliwatts, and that's what 25 milliwatts just did. But Dishank covered his ground fairly quickly and not allowing 25 milliwatts in any way to get ahead of him. NJ was slowly falling back. He's right now at spot number 4, and we are still going through the eyes of 25 milliwatts. Let's see where NJ is up to. NJ is fallen back at spot number 5, but he will be chasing Rex at the moment. Both of them at the same gate, and Rex made it through, but NJ did not. And Dishank has completed his part. 25 milliwatts will be also looking good over here to complete his part. That's the final part of his track coming up for 25 milliwatts. And the track is absolutely lit with these pilots. NJ at spot number 5, so is Rex. They are exactly together in sync with each other, and it's going to be a very, very close one between Rex and NJ. And wow, Rex completed as 40 at fourth, and Napster finally at the last space. So what a round this was. This is really interesting to watch, and it's getting really interesting from the second round onwards now. Devnath at 1 minute to 1 second, 190 millisecond. Dishank 127, 25 milliwatts, 141. Rex 156. Look at that competition between Rex and NJ. Very, very close. Hardly a second away from each other. And Napster finally at 2 minutes, 09 seconds. So that was the story for round number two. Let's proceed with round number three. Let's go. Looks like our feed is clear and everybody is able to hear. The pilots again go over here at this point in time, going through the centipede. That's a long centipede to cover in red, always a danger zone. That's why it's a red one. And this is a green one, which is more like a free flowing one, but the pilots have to be careful nevertheless. They're now taking a sharp turn at those blue rings, the trio of the blue rings. NJ having a little bit of an issue while Dishank is really chasing upon Devnath and Rex. And Rex and Devnath, let's tune into Rex. Rex is really taking it up to Devnath at this point in time. Rex right behind Devnath. Look at that, the blue trail. He will be looking to get head on head with the Devnath. Wow, that was a really good chase. And Dishank is following in the line with these three pilots at the spot 1, 2, 3. It's so close. Look at those three pilots going together in and out of those three circles. And now it's going to be anybody's game over here. Rex is very, very close to the Devnath at this point in time, just a few gates away. Let's see where Devnath is. Devnath is covering good ground and keeping more and more distance between himself and Rex. It's going to be such a close drill so far. I mean, it's going to be until the very last moment in time. Let's see where Rex and Dishank is. Looks like Dishank is not progressing too well, but he might cover back and make that distance happen for him. NJ now also at spot number 4. It's 25 milliwatts. Is looking not too good in this one. He's fallen a little behind, so that will be disappointing for him. Devnath and Rex have completed the first two spots. Dishank at spot number 3 at this point in time, who has completed third spot. NJ will be getting his lap done as well, and a sad story there for 25 milliwatts and Napster finally. So looks like they're not moving that fast into the competition. Nevertheless, we'll tune into them. What's happening out there with 25 milliwatts. Let's see him through the last part of this track, and that will finish his game at 2 minutes 4 seconds for 25 milliwatts. Napster just about to complete a few gates now, but that doesn't matter because we have the positions at 126 again for Devnath, 130, very close for Rex. He did really well over here. Dishank at 136, not too bad for him as well. And NJ 142, closing in with Dishank, and finally 25 milliwatts at 2 minutes 4 seconds, with Napster coming in last at 2 minutes 29 seconds. So 3 rounds over now, and let's go with the final round of these pilots. This time, whichever team's pilot wins, that team gets all of the points. So let's go, pilots, whenever you guys are ready. All the best as we are ready to take off with these pilots now. Switching to different kinds of camera view angles so that you can see in complete entirety the completeness of this track, the beautiful view in this night racing one. It's an absolute thrill, and D1 Racing has done such a nice job with their part of the track. They have sent it to us. Again, thank you to them, and also thank you to a lot of sponsors that we will be thanking at the end of this round as well. Devnath right now at let's look at it from the first person view of Devnath, because he is a very, very good pilot to look at. Looking very, very clean at this point in time, not making too many mistakes. He just overstepped over there while crossing that roller coaster, but doesn't mind because he's way too ahead of the competition at this point in time. He should not be worried. But Rex is coming in. Rex is closing into Devnath, unless, oh, they are, wow, 25 milliwatts now. Let's switch to 25 milliwatts, because between 25 milliwatts and Dishank, there is some competition happening. And also between Rex and NJ. So let's see where NJ is. NJ is on the centipede right now, and beautiful view. It looks like a very, very nice track over here. Absolutely, it looks like some kind of a Las Vegas kind of environment where these guys are. Beautiful environment over here, and an absolute thrill to watch these pilots. Dishank out there, we are covering him. Let's switch to the side view so that we can see all the pilots. Napster, not too good, not his day today. And Devnath and Rex have completed their 3 laps. NJ has also completed third. Dishank at this point in time also completed fourth. So Dishank will be a little upset with his performance in this round, but he is always looking to improve. So we'll be seeing him in the next rounds. 25 milliwatt has also completed, and finally just Napster, who is the pilot that remains to complete the gates. So let's look at the final draw over here with the fourth round. 114. Devnath has really stepped it up and really set a record for this track at a 114. Wow, it really deserves a round of applause for him. And Rex at 139, NJ at 141. Dishank very close to him, 149, 25 milliwatts, a little far away at 2 minutes, and Napster at 220. Napster really has to get in and do something now. So that completes our semi-final group number 1. Now let's see what lineup we have for semi-final group number 2, and then we will be starting those races as well. Again, a quick recap for our viewers who have just joined us. This is episode number 7. We are now going into semi-final group number 2 stage. Semi-final 1 has completed. There you see on your screen, there will be again 6 pilots competing over here, each from 3 each from Team Consistency and Mach 1. And it's going to be Law versus Logic, Bangos versus Nishant, Litwings, FPV versus Monster. And then we have all these 6 pilots are going to come in simultaneously, and whoever wins for the team takes away the points. So let's go to the pit area now, and let's take off with the pilots. Whenever these pilots are ready, they'll be giving me a thumbs up, and then we'll be ready to go. We are just seeing the pilots take their practice rounds over here. So Monster looks like he is ready. Yep, all these pilots are ready. Let's go now. At the count of less than 5, we have some action coming in for you. Very, very interesting. Now it's going to be the Law and Litwings FPV. That's a beautiful view to watch. Look at that team over there. Team Consistency really ruling it up over here at spots 1, 2, and 3, while Mach 1 has to really make it up to them. Monster, Logic, and Nishant. These are really, really quick pilots. Especially Logic is very, very close to coming in at spot number 3 or 2. But the Law, look at the Law. He is far ahead of the competition. So let's switch to the Law at this point in time, because he's really breaking the speed barrier at this time, and he's having no fear going through those gates. He's doing it perfectly in synchronization with his style. He's gotten quicker by the day, and the Law going through that trench, coming in, and now has to do one more lap in order to clinch the title for his team. Bangos is also doing pretty well. He's also on the same team, so they wouldn't be competing against each other. But look at Logic. Logic is coming in really, really close from behind. He's overtaken Litwings FPV from spot number 4. He's now at spot number 3. So let's see if he's able to climb up to spot number 2 at this point in time, or it's going to be Bangos. Bangos is a little too far away. It's going to be a little difficult to chase for Bangos, and Bangos completes his part, and he comes in second, while Logic at gate number 25 completed just a few seconds away. That was not good enough for taking him into the second spot. And let's switch over our attention now to Monster, who is in the free flow zone at this point, then going through those blue circles, and finally also let's see a few gates remaining for him as he approaches the trench, and then goes towards those violet triangles and those handlebars, and coming in right into again the start gate, which completes his part of the track. Litwings just flew behind. He was such well grounded at spot number 2, but Litwings, something happened, and it was not a perfect round for Litwings. Nishant himself completed at 5th, and that's the story from this round. 1 minute 13 water record. He overtook Devnath, the Law, and Bangos at 115. What a race this was. Logic at 127, Monster at 151, Nishant at Nishant at 2 minutes 2 seconds and Litwings at 2 minutes 9 seconds. So what a competition! What a fabulous start we have over here. And thank you for those amazing comments. We welcome again Gavakshi Verma GVFP. We are missing you as a pilot. Prince Dear, thank you so much for that wonderful comments and tuning in today. Do stay tuned or also share this event with your friends and family. If you are watching, it's such an exciting event. It's just going through the semifinals at this point in time. So let's go back to the pit area at this point and let's get the pilots rolling. Pilots, whenever you are ready, please get on the podium. In less than 5, we take off and let's see who becomes the king of this round. And all pilots taking off simultaneously. The law again at spot number 3. Look at the close competition. Wow, that really took off. Litwing surprised him. And then Nishant this time is really looking good. Nishant is really committed. And Monster also committed. And Logic also committed. So 2, 3, 4 spots. It's really switching really hard. Logic fell behind really quickly, and between Mach 1 and consistency is going to be really tight, because look at that, spots number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, all of them are changing at the same point in time, and it's so difficult because these pilots are a gate away. It's still early to tell who is going to win in the track, but this is going to be a very tough competition. It's going to be head to head right down to the nail biter of this round, as Nishant takes it at round number 3. He's looking good at spot number 3. And then we have Bangos. Bangos is also on team consistency. He should be doing at spot number 3 unless he wants to really step it up to Nishant. Nishant is looking good over here. Nishant is looking superb over here, but he's fell to spot number 4, and it's now Logic. And now it's between Logic and Bangos, and Logic and Bangos. Look at that. Those two pilots are really head to head with each other. That Logic got a little confused over there and missed his circle. That gave an opportunity to Bangos to really train it up and get it into the second spot. And Logic, unfortunately, just lost his way, gave that leeway to Bangos, not really coming in and pushing it hard at the very last moment, losing his edge. Nishant should be happy, but not really, because second spot he really fell down to spot number 4, but still an increment for him from 6. So let's look at the scorecard quickly. 1 minute 7 seconds for the law. What a race this was. 1 minute 7 seconds, guys. Can you believe that? Bangos at 125, Logic at 128, Nishant at 137, Monster at 143. And finally, Litwings FPV, who is still to complete the track, but we wouldn't wait for him. Let's start with round number 3, I believe this is. At the count of less than 5, we go through these pilots together. Wow, what a view this is. All these firecracker of a drones going through that centipede. It's a long centipede and dangerous one. It can eat anybody because it's all red today in that night view. And then comes the fairy tale, large view, and then those constraining blue circles, which are proving to be a little too edgy for these pilots. It's not really easy going through that roller coaster, as Nishant you just saw. But let's tune into the law, because he is so well geared and really tuned in to his goggles and his part of the attention span, because he's really not losing it. He is really focused, and he is on his breakthrough speed over here. The law, Bangos chasing him around, coming in from back, but he is a little too far away from a law. Let's see where a Monster is. Monster, by surprise, it's at spot number 3 for him, but he crashed over there. Monster, he should have recovered now. That gives Logic a bit of a leeway to come back from behind. Can Logic take opportunity of this? We also saw very good competition in previous episodes between Monster and Logic. So it's really now between Litwings, the law, the Bangos. Litwings is at the spot number 6. So Bangos and Monster, these guys are competing for spot number 2, but mostly Bangos is in with spot number 2. But the other pilots little too far away. Let's now look at Monster. Monster, although he crashed in that previous episode, the previous round, he did his previous best to come back in this third one and take the third spot. And now Logic and Nishant, wow, at the very end, looks like, wow, unfortunately not for Nishant. Looks like he was pretty close to Logic at the very tail end of this track, and that's the story. Let's look at the board. The Law again improving his timing, 1 minute 6 seconds, setting a record breaker of a time over here. Bangos 123, Monster 137, Logic 146, and Nishant at 151. And finally, Litwing's FEV at 6 number. So that completes 3 rounds. Let's go with the fourth and final round over here. This is for the team, guys. And let's start at the count of less than 5. This is going to change everything, guys. That's the word of the pilots who are not competing at this point in time. So it's going to be really interesting to watch. Let's speed away with Law having some difficulty going through that roller coaster, so he has to go through those gates again, having some difficulty again. So Logic has the opportunity. Bangos kicks in right now. Let's look at Bangos and Logic. Look at that. Oh, and Bangos gave away, and Logic came in, and Logic has taken the spot number 2, and he's really chasing up to the Law. Can he really make all that speed? Because the Law also made some mistakes at this point. He's really getting behind the Law at this point, but Law is really increasing the distance. He's not a pilot who can be easily chased. He is getting so good at this. Oh, he's stuck a little bit over there in the Law. That could really make some difference. It's going to be either team consistency or Mac 1 at this point, that's for sure. And either of these teams are going to take the 3 points. That's going to be a game changer. And Logic is doing his best for Mac 1, and so is the Nishant and Monster. It's going to be such an exciting thriller at the trail of the end of this track. The Law makes it, and he gets all of the 3 points for team consistency. The rest of the points really do not matter. So let's just wait for these pilots to complete their part of the track. And it was, although in spots number 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for Mac 1, it was really well, Bangos really kicked in at spot number 3, looks like right now. But anyway, team consistency deserves a huge round of applause with their captain, the Law FPV, really setting the stage for them and taking them through and possibly into the finals. That will be adjured by our final episode, a final semi-final draw. Let's see what's the count at this point in time. Let's get back to our normal view over here so that we can show the score sheet to our viewers as well. And in real time, let's see what's happening over here. Right now, we have the score sheet at, let's see, 3 points for the Law in the first one, Bangos 3 points. Then we had Monster for Mac 1 came in, and again the Law came in. And finally, yeah, that was the thing. And also, let's look at semi-final group number 1. Devnath, Rex, took in majority of the points over there for their team. So it's natural to see now that for the EP7 leaderboard, we have Blitzkrieg and Team Consistency. These are the 2 teams that are going into the finals. Congratulations, guys. Very well done. And now in the finals, we have this draw, Blitzkrieg and Team Consistency. So let's not wait any longer. Let's jump in right into the action over here. Thank you for the viewers again for tuning in. This is the finals we are in right now. Let's not waste any time, and let's go with the finals, round number 1, guys. Let's okay, so the pilots are still practicing over here. They want a few minutes for the finals. Till then, we'll look at this track and comment it out for you. Again, those who have just joined us, this is a track that was sent to us by D1 Racing from Singapore. And thanks to them, we have a lovely track tonight for episode number 7. It's going to be the highlight of the series. And it's multicolored, different colors used in very a nice way. And there is a roller coaster, there is a centipede, there are trenches. It really gets up and down over here. If we go through just that FPV view, Look at that. That's the centipede. That's the most dangerous one. Even a pilot like Devnath that we are chasing right now has difficulties. And the yellow one that you saw just now was the trench. So that was the start gate. Then we go through the centipede with Devnath, going through that free flow green housing over there. And then we will be going into another track. But right now looks like Devnath is getting back on the track or doing some kind of freestyle over there so that we get some view, top view overhead of this track. That would be nice. And till then, let's, oh, gorgeous view. Look at that. A perfect view. And it was beautifully done by Devnath. So, and let's switch to now Rex, where he is. He's again uh, doing some practice while Bangos is just taking and going circles and circles. He wants to be very, very flexible in the finals to come. Litwings is also will be looking to push up his gear, and he will be trying to learn from the other pilots how he can compete. And the law, as usual, is always looking so good over there. Look at that roller coaster that he's doing. He's absolutely mastered it. That's a very, very dangerous zone otherwise to get into for any amateur pilots. Definitely pro pilots like Law are leading right now their teams as captains. So is Devnath and Dishang from D team, and also from Mac 1. So pilots, let's not waste any more time. We have uh, we have to start the finals. And viewers, those who have tuned in, please let us know who is going to win the finals. Is it going to be uh, Team Blitzkrieg, or is it going to be Team Consistency? And if you guess it right, we'll just call out your name, and that will be really good. So do keep your chats coming in. Do spread the message that we are live to your friends and family, and we are broadcasting not only over Facebook but also over YouTube. And YouTube stream is going really strong at this point in time. So, all right, guys, are we set? Are we set to watch? Okay, let's go, guys. All the best pilots. This is the finals, the round number one coming in with Devnath taking over the first one between Law and Devnath. Look at that. It's so close. And Devnath falling right below, but Devnath coming back into N. And he is really back into spot number two. Between, let's tune into the Law at this point in time because he is really the leader. But right behind him is Devnath. Can Devnath chase up to the Law? Law is really quick. Look at that. The way he's doing that centipede. He's really basking in the sun, it looks like. But Devnath, it would be interesting to see how far ground he can cover and chase it up to the Law. And Bangos and Devnath. Bangos is also a little far away. At spot number 4 is where the competition is really happening. So let's take it up for Napster and Rex. See, look at those two pilots, Napster and Rex, both of them from the same team, though, Team Blitzkrieg. So it'd be interesting to watch between, let's say, Bangos and Napster. So, but again, yeah, it's actually between Devnath and Bangos. So Devnath is a little far away, and Bangos really crashed in, and that will really be disappointing for him. And Devnath would be having a sigh of a breather over there, giving him a lead of almost 8 gates still ahead of Bangos, and allowing him to come in at spot number 2. He would be, and the Law has set a new record. He is below 1 minute at this point. Guys, please give him a huge, huge round of applause. 3 laps at less than 1 minute, 59 seconds, 408 milliseconds to be precise. It is an absolute cracker of a timing, and he deserves everything right now. The only pilot that is remaining is, I guess, Litwings. Litwings has come in, and Napster will be looking to chase him as well. It all depends on Napster, how quickly he's able to cover ground. but it's really Litwings who is taking it up at spot number 5. So that's the score. Look at that. The Law FPV 59 seconds, 408 milliseconds. Devnath will not be too happy with his performance because he also comes in close at 1 minute. So, but 1 minute 20 seconds for him. Bangos at 126, Rex 138, and finally Litwings at 2 minutes for 2 seconds, and Napster at 220. That was a draw. So round number 2, guys, of the finals. Let's get ready, boys. Let's get ready for the round number 2 of the finals. At the count of less than 5, let's tune into the top pilot over here, Law and Devnath. Look at that. Both of them through the centipede. What a sight this is to watch. Going through that green overflow over there, going through the circles. Absolutely not making any mistake over here. But Law falling in, and that gives an opportunity to Devnath. Devnath is in the lead at this point in time, and the Law chasing him from behind, just 2 gates away. It's tremendous pressure for Devnath. Can he carry on the lead, or can he really break it up? Because it's really one gate between Devnath and the Law. Look at that. He's being chased so very rapidly by the Law, and the Law is in full form. These two captains of their respective teams are going so strong over here, but Devnath is really pacing it up, and the Law will get a chance because Devnath really crashed, and the Law is right behind him, and it will be really very interesting to see now what's happening over there. Devnath is still maintaining the lead over a slight edge over the Law, and where is Law? Oh, let's see at the where is Law at this point in time. He's right behind Devnath, just 3 gates away. If he comes back from this, really it's going to be a cracker of a thing for him, but Devnath chases and takes the win at 1-3, and the Law at 1-7. If he was below 1 minute, surely, but did not do that consistency. So let's now switch over to Bangos. Bangos at spot number 3, and then we have at spot number 4 Rex, and Napster at spot number 5, and Litwings at spot number 5, and Napster has fallen to spot number 6. So Bangos is also done at 124. It's now really between let's see, Napster, Rex, and Rex will be looking good. He's really nothing to worry about that now. Between Rex, he should have won his part, but unless he makes mistakes like that, he really crashed in, and but he completed right below the start gate. He had crashed, so no worries for him. He quickly recovered now, and now it's really Litwings and Napster. Those who have completed, I request please do not fly at this point in time. Let the Napster complete the 3 gates, and we will see Napster. Let's see, Litwings and Napster, both of them very close over here, just a gate away, and Napster is the one who completes at spot number 5 with Litwings at 6, and a very close draw. Devnath and the Law was the most exciting race of this episode so far. 1 minute 3 seconds takes the clinch for Devnath, at 1 minute 7 seconds for the Law from Team Consistency. Bangos at 124, Rex at 146, Napster 219, and Litwings FPV at 221. Then we have the round number 3 coming up, boys. For the pilots, we have, let's go at the count of less than 5. Let's see how the competition turns up this time. It's again the Law and Devnath. Just 2 gates away is the Devnath. Law is right now is really chasing up. Between Bangos and Devnath is 1 gate away. So both of them are fiercely competing to take the first spot. But Law is really looking good. Looks like he's going to complete well below 1 minute. So let's see between Devnath and Bangos what's the situation. It's really rapidly increased. The same distance that the Law and Devnath, between Devnath and Bangos. So let's switch over to Bangos. Let's see what's happening at his end, and also let's see from his point of view, the first person view. But it would be really so interesting to watch the Law. What a fascinating sight this is from FPV point of view. The Law, the leader of this competition until this moment. What a beautiful sight it is. Wow, but he's having some difficulties on that free-flowing one. Now going through that roller coaster, coming down, in and out, and then going into the trench. Just going through those triangles and the handles, and then going through that start gate, completing and giving us a very far sighted view of the track. So is Devnath, and now we look at Bangos's speed, and Bangos is also looking good. He will have to go back and redo that one, and roller coaster for him. Look at the roller coaster. It's like a space dive over here on this universally amazing track. It's really amazingly built. It looks so gorgeous. And Bangos has completed third. And now we have at spot number 4, we have Rex, who will be going through the same drill of those really close knit blue circles before riding into that roller coaster of a ride into the trench, then the triangles, and finally going through into the start gate. That will complete his 3 laps for Rex, and finally the ones who remain are Napster and Lith. Napster will want to push it up right now. He completes a spot number 5. So that gives us the final one. That's 1 minute exactly for the law. Devnath 6 seconds away. Bangos 124, Rex 147, and finally Napster 153. While Litwings came in at spot number 6. Now let's go for round number 4, the last one coming up, the last and the final one. This is the decider of the round. This can be anything's anyone's game. And let's see how these pilots are going to do. The pilot who wins this first for his team gets all the points. This is the final decider of the finals. Such an amazing race to watch. Look at the Law and Devnath. It's going to be really close between them. Wow, look at that. Look at that performance between. Oh, Devnath just lost that edge. He crashed into that handlebar. But looks like the Law will really step it up now, taking full advantage of that opportunity unless Devnath does something over here very, very quickly. But it's now between Devnath and Bangos. So let's switch over to Devnath and Bangos. And Devnath at spot number 2, while Bangos at spot number 3. And then comes in fourth is Rex. And then we have Litwings at spot number 5 and Napster at 6. But Bangos and Devnath looking really close. So let's see this from Bangos's view. And Bangos is chasing Devnath at this point in time. The Law far ahead, and he's going to compete first. And Team Consistency is definitely gathering those 3 points. And congratulations to Team Consistency for gathering those. But it would be still interesting to watch these other pilots. So let's go through the FPV view of these pilots. Let's go through one by one. Let's see how they are doing the track. It's Bangos, and they're not coming in second. Bangos coming in, would be coming in third, and going through that trench. It's still so exciting to watch the FPV view. A really amazing track, a beautiful track. And then switching over to Rex at spot number 4, and Litwings and Napster. Rex really not doing it up to his mark. His quality is really amazing, but he did not do justification for his skill today. Rex, he really pushed it hard in as much time it was could possibly, gave it his best, but luck not really on his side today. And so was Napster, wasn't his day today. So that said and done, let's look at the final timings. The Law taking the lead at the clinch at 56 seconds, setting a new record and taking the clinch for Team Consistency. And Devnath at 1 minute 11 seconds, Bangos at 1 minute 26 seconds, Rex at 152, and Litwings at 123 at 153. And that completes the final. So let's look at the final leaderboard over here. Let's count the points and see who is going to win. Just guess now who is going to win over here. Let's see, and the final points are calculated over here already for us. And this is going to be, yes, it's Team Consistency with 18 points who has won this championship. A big congratulations to them. Team Consistency has taken episode number 7, and they are the champions. And Blitzkrieg at points 14, our second D team, will be looking to do really well in the next episode, and so would be Mac 1 as they complete at spot number 3 and 4, gathering fourth and 4 points and 3 points each. So an unbelievable episode. What a fantastic episode this was. We really enjoyed bringing this amazing race to you, and hope you also enjoyed staying with us for this nail biter of a moment we had in the finals. And tonight we are again specially thankful to all our sponsors: One Martian Way, Velocidrone, Team Black Sheep, Team ZDR, and again Quadcopters. We would thank all of you, and also D1 Racing for this wonderful track from Singapore. And that completes episode number 7. Team Consistency today is ruling, and they will be having a special night while the other teams really think hard to how to really get over the win and chase the Team Consistency in the next episode. Till next Saturday, it's going to be a really, really awaiting moment. Join us next Saturday, Saturday Night Live at 9:30 p.m. for Saturday for IDRL Stay at Home Championships, as this continues right till episode number 10 for season one. And it's going to be a big announcement that we're going to make later this week. So you all come in, and also people who are new to this form of racing, do join in IDRL at droneracingindia.com. There is a huge community now building, and we are giving everyone a chance to get into this amazing community. This is really the place to be, and our stay at home series is very, very attractive. So thank you very much for everybody who tuned in today, and we are really delighted that you were with us. And thank you very much. Have a good night, and stay safe. Thank you very